If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch. I have to move that paper. It's driving me nuts.
Did we take care of that yet?
Nope.
Okay. It's driving her nuts, dear listener. All right. Here we go. Next song number 3 in our Radiohead marathon session is...
All right. Kid A. Everything in its right place. From the album Kid A. Okay, so this is the notes from our DJ Gabe.
DJ Gabe, as
The
you can
video-
see right there, DJ Gabe.
The video is a fan-made video that takes entirely from an award-winning short film called Backstory by Joshka. Okay, you read it. What's his name?
Joshka Lakenkisk?
Lead singer Tom York told Rolling Stone in 2001 what happened after a show in Birmingham, England during their 1997 OK Computer tour. I came off the end of the show, he remembers, sat in the dressing room and couldn't speak. I actually couldn't speak. People were saying, "You all right?" I knew people were speaking to me, but I couldn't hear them, and I couldn't talk. I just so had enough. I was bored with saying I'd had enough. I was beyond that. He also added in England, sucking a lemon refers to the face you pull because a lemon is so tart. He twists his sharp features into a ferocious grimace. That's the face I had for 3 years.
Ugh.
Yikes. All right, you guys, let's check this out. Radiohead, everything in its right place.
And of course, the big homie Dwayne wants us to know that Radiohead was heavily influenced by the Beatles.
You're kidding me.
So there's that.
Every time.
I actually believe that, though. I actually believe that.
What, you don't usually believe Dwayne when he says that?
No, I don't see how Slayer took anything from the Beatles.
Oh, ridiculous. All right, you guys, let's go.
All right, guys, we'll check it out. Why is Sori so orange in that new intro? I need to fix that for you. She was trying to appeal to the
Trump supporters.
Everything in its right place.
If you want to, Amy, if you want to fix something, I have something else. A massive mistake I've made. I don't know if Vin has informed you.
Is this the official video?
it's right place, in its right place, in its right place, in its right place. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon.
Amazon account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
It's a deal of a deal.
That was Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead. Okay, so read Gabe's intro again.
The video is a fan-made video that takes entirely from an award-winning short film called Backstory. Lead singer Tom York told Rolling Stone in 2001 about what happened after a show in Birmingham, England during their 1997 OK Computer Tour. I came off the end of the show, he remembers, sat in the dressing room and couldn't speak. I actually couldn't speak. People were saying, "Are you all right?" I knew people were speaking to me, but I couldn't hear them and I couldn't talk. I just so had enough. And I was bored with saying I'd had enough. I was beyond that. He also added, in England, sucking a lemon refers to the face you pull because a lemon is so tart. He twists his sharp features into a ferocious grimace. This is the face I had for 3 years.
What do you think he meant when he said he'd had enough?
I think, I mean, he talked before, like the other song about like the mental illness stuff and whatever. Like maybe it was the dealing with his own internal dialogue, dealing with the crowds, dealing with the way that the like how people when they put you up on a pedestal, how they try to consume you, like being constantly consumed by people, like just having enough, like and the idea of like sucking the life out of someone, and then when they're too tired to stand anymore, looking at them and saying, "Are you all right?" What do you mean, am I all right? Like, you know. So that was what kind of that made me think of.
Yeah, I remember. That's the thing. The other thing is a lot of these guys are introverts. A lot of artists are introverted. And that's the reason they're such good artists. Mm-hmm. Is because you need a lot of time by yourself to develop your art, whether it's writing, singing, playing guitar, whatever. Yeah. You need a lot of time by yourself because it takes a lot of concentration. And so introverts are naturally more artistic, disposed to mastering an instrument or mastering, something mm-hmm. because they have a lot of free time because they orient their lives in such a way as to do that. But then what ends up happening is all the shit you were practicing for, you became successful. Mm-hmm. The problem is that people are not going to be like, oh, he developed this in a cave as an introvert. Like, sorry, you're a rock star now. You got a crazy album out there. The record label is telling you need to tour, get your music out there. Especially nowadays, I mean, these guys aren't making any money unless they do a tour. Because you're just not making any money for the record label anymore.
That really sucks.
That's just how it goes. Like, yeah. So I could definitely see like that absolute like shell shock of going from being an introverted guy who hangs out with his friends who seem to be kind of like low effort in the sense of like when I saw them live and the way they were, it's like it seemed like they were all pretty easy to get along with. So you go from playing guitar in your room to hanging out with your fellow introverted friends who get you, and then you guys maybe you play a local show, there's 50 people, and there's 5 bands, and people say, oh, I like what you did, and they move on. Mm-hmm. But now, like, you're this giant rock star, thousands of people clamoring to see you, grabbing you, all types of shit. It's very hard, man. It's very, very difficult. Fame is also something Tom said he wanted before he had it, thinking it would fill a void in him, but found it did the opposite. Yeah, that's where I was going. Because he says everything is in its right place. So it's like, you go your whole life being like, yo, if I had this, this, and this, then I would be happy. So everything is in its right place. That's the irony of the song. It's like, yo,
everything's exactly how he wanted it to be.
It's exactly how it's supposed to happen. You wanted to be famous. You wanted to be rich.
But he's still unhappy.
And like, it's like, I'm sure he feels it's better than working in an office. Mm-hmm. But
I think, though, that the idea that the grass is always greener on the other side is a phrase for a reason. Yeah. So you might think, oh, I'm sure he prefers that over an office. But there are probably days where he's like, that friggin' office worker, nobody's clamoring at them all the time. They work and they go home. That's it. They work and they go home. So there's, the guy that's in the office, he's like, man, I would love to be a rock star. That would be so cool. All my dreams come true. This guy's saying, look, it's all in the right place and there's still a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, although I still don't think he would trade it for working in an office.
Every day? No, I don't think so either.
Some
days?
I don't think he would.
Some days maybe he thinks that would be preferable.
We had this conversation, though, about a dude in a church that we knew. And there was a guy who was charismatic, popular, whatever. Ah, fuck, it was me. It doesn't make sense if I'm talking in code. Because now I'm going to start going into this person's deep emotions. And it's like, well, how do you know
so much about him? Okay, go ahead, babe.
But, I mean, yeah, like, you're I was popular in the group, and people looked to me for guidance or whatever. And this dude just couldn't take it, man. Like, dude, he just made him more and more and more and more of a bitter person.
Yeah.
So, as he was being jealous of all of my fame and success, I was getting calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, all types of shit.
You'd be on for multiple hours.
And I had a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And a family.
Yeah, and so, like, you know, the constant, like, people clamoring for your attention, the constant people, like, grabbing you, like, people would literally grab me and say, hey, Vin, blah, blah,
I know.
like,
Oh my gosh.
you almost become, like, public property at that point when you're famous. Like, people don't understand that.
And I mean, like, people, some people have seen you, like, day in, day out for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, you can tell, like, on his face that there's some days where he's friggin' having a hard time. It didn't matter. Like, literally, he'd walk into the building and like, people would, that to me was odd that people felt that comfortable to, like, because I always saw you as, like, a kind of, like, don't touch him type of person.
Yeah, I'm a don't touch me type of person. Like,
but
I'm a
it was always, ooh,
I'm extremely introverted.
Give that man
I
some
was so
space.
overstimulated, it was horrible. Like, people were just, like, hanging off me and shit.
I tried to run interference for you
and
for some of it too.
This dude was like, he was.
He was seeing all these people clamoring, and the thing is, like, Vinny is the type of person, especially, like, you guys experience him through the channel, but if you experienced him in real life, like, he gives you this feeling that if you're a female, like, you're safe. He's not trying to objectify you. He's not trying to get anything from you. Like, he's there, and but it's an experience that's so foreign to a lot of us women that when you get in that situation, you almost, like, clamor to it because it's like, I've been waiting for this my whole life. You know, like a friendship that you can have where the person is not trying to take anything from you. Like, they're just trying to have a friendship or whatever. And so but this other guy was in a situation where he would make you feel uncomfortable. He would show up before everybody else so then he could get alone with the girls. Like, he did these things that made us feel uncomfortable. And so obviously the more uncomfortable that guy made us feel, the more everybody migrated toward Vinny, which increased the amount of people but then that one guy was always like, to him it was like, I'm available and nobody's coming over to talk to me. Why is everybody clamoring on him? Well,
yeah, he hated me for it, but if I could have traded places with him, I would have in an instant. I tried to leave. Like 6 months in, I tried to leave and wouldn't let me go. Bless God. Shout out to Betty Mac. I'd still be there, bro. Thank you. Yeah, like, I really like PL's breakdown here. Holy shit, PL. So 2 colors.
yeah, I was wondering.
Two colors, black and white, describing life as good or bad. Sucking the lemon equals different tastes gray. Don't really see how you get gray out of sucking the lemon. I thought that was a little bit of a reach there, my boy. What was that you tried to say? Incomprehensible because gray is not the color he needs in life. I thought that was interesting.
Okay, let me look at that now.
Check this out
Two
from
colors in
Gabe.
my
It's
head.
worth noting that when Kid A was released and people heard this song, first song on the record, people were like, what the fuck is this electronic bullshit? Where's the guitars? Band has 3 guitarists.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think it was electronica stuff. I thought it was. I've got a setting. You know the It's a Bell song, the middle when I changed it in that atmospheric sound.
Yeah.
Like, that's guitar. I just put that through one of the settings on the amp, and then I messed around with a couple other things and did a bend instead. Anyway, like. But I was like, yo, that's crazy. That doesn't sound like guitar. That sounds like some synth type of thing. Like, yeah, so I definitely see that. But yeah, man, this song is, I relate heavy to this song based on the context that Gabe gave us because, like, yeah, man, I was at the point where I was just, like, so burnt out off of people, man. You know, I was, like, really burnt out.
I'm not joking you. There was a time where me and, like, his entire life had fallen apart, all right? So it was just him with a bunch of kids. And so me and two other people from our crew were over visiting you, and I could tell you were getting so tired, like, he was friggin' exhausted. And I said, I gotta get these people out of his house because they didn't look like they were even trying to leave anytime soon. So I said, I told them, I said, hey, like he got up to get something, and I said, hey, you guys, like he's really tired, like he needs to rest, like we should leave. And they were like, yeah, well, whatever. So we all left, and as we're walking away, I repeated to them, because I know how fucking selfish people are in regards to him. And so I said, listen, I said, I think it's really good that we're all leaving right now, because he really needs to rest. I mean, he's been up, blah, 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 blah. They were like, yeah. They were bullshitting the entire time. They watched me take off in my vehicle, and they promptly went back into his house.
They turned
and
around.
so I messaged him when I got back home. I was like, hey, like, this is good. Take your rest, whatever. Nope. They were in the living room rapping. I was like...
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I said, why don't you tell them to leave? Just too nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well,
why let them back in the house? They already left. Why-
That's one of the things about like being an introvert. Like it's weird because like I can speak to crowds and I can turn on like a certain level of gregariety, you know, when I'm in a crowd. So when I'm like alone and it's one-on-one, I have a very, very hard time like talking to people about like, yo, get out of here. Like you're taking too much out of me. I only say it to someone like you or someone like that. But like regular people, I don't know. I didn't know how to do that very well at the time, obviously. Yeah. And so I was literally like dead on my feet that night. Like I was like passed out like on my feet. And they were still here, but it was funny. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I'm your wife now, so I would do it differently. I don't think they would try to come back in. You know what I mean? Like I could be a stopgap in that sense, but
it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot different if, yeah.
Yeah, but I felt so bad for you. I'm like, I was also frustrated with you because I'm like, tell these friggin' people to leave. Like, I was like, these people, they'll just take and take and take and take. You know, well, they made their decision. They came back in, and now they're not in your life anymore.
The people I wanted to spend a lot of time with, like, gave me my space. So, like, Davey was like, yo, if I saw you in public, I'd be like, oh, there's the big homie, smile and carry on. Because I, too, am introverted. Then I tell you I saw you in the street. So he'd be somebody I'd, like, want to stop and, like,
That's
no!
what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Davey, you should stop and at least say hey.
Yeah, like, I would hate that if he just, like, said, oh, yeah, I saw you at, you know, whatever, and didn't speak to you. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really like this song. I get the song. I totally get the song. It's hard to explain what the song does, but it's kind of like, this is a song I could play on repeat over and over again when I'm in one of my you know, whatever. It's a really, it makes you think. The lyrics are avant-garde enough to where you could kind of plug in your own situation. I just really, really liked it a lot. This is 9.5 for me.
So, is there anything, like, you know how people will be like, oh, if I had this, this, and this, I'd be better. I'd be good. Like, for me, like, I tell myself, really, if the entire house was, like, organized like I used to have my old house, I would be really good. But obviously that's not true. You know what I mean? Like, there's always other things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We want to try to make our issues like external instead of realizing that maybe there's some whatever. Do you have anything like that you're like, there's like one party that's like, yeah, that's not a fix, but there's another party that's like, yeah, but if this.
I mean, obviously, you know, the major project we're working on right now. You know, like getting our businesses to the next level.
Yep.
Relocating, those types of things. But see, I grew up with my mom like moving around all over the place, and it never got her what she was looking for. See what I'm saying? So
yeah, but at the same time, she kept bringing the old back into the new. Like there was a
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a person that wasn't good for her at that point.
Yeah.
And she'd move states, but then bring them.
Yeah, I'm just very, very skeptical about anytime people say this is gonna happen, so
right.
This is gonna make, like, anytime there's like a life change,
there's no silver bullets,
and people think it's gonna do something, I'm always like, yeah, bro, that's probably not gonna work out the way you think it is. Maybe that's just cynicism, I don't know. But the trick is to just go, I'm really happy with how I am right now, and then work from there. Yeah, unless you're not, in which case I don't know how that trick's gonna work. No, it's a genuine question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, that's valid. Okay,
It's a 9.6 for me. I love this song.
9.1.
This is weird because it's not like a catchy pop song, but that line like it's right place like that repetition over and over again is like sticking in my it's like stuck in my head. It's interesting. Really, really interesting.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back.
We shall return, dear listener. Vin out.
Story out.
Gone.